It's always best if you can form your images the way you want them, get them sized and cropped the way you want them before you put them into WordPress. But sometimes you don't have time to do it or you change your mind later on. Well, WordPress makes it very easy for you to do some image editing right in WordPress. Let's go find an image here and let's grab the sunset. Yes. Now what we want to do is make some changes to it. Here's the thumbnail right now that WordPress has for it. And I don't quite like that thumbnail. I'd like it to be different, but this is auto-generated by WordPress. I want to change that. So I click Edit Image there. And I can do this, by the way, right after I upload an image. It's available. Here I'm doing it from the media library. I can do it from my pop-up Upload Insert window. There's many places I can do this. Just happen to be doing it from the media library. Okay. So here we've got the full image right here, and there's our thumbnail down here. Now, there are a number of things I can do to this. I can rotate it. There's rotating buttons there. Flipping. Now, this is vertical flipping. The one you use most often is horizontal flipping. Let's say, for example, I would like this couple to be over on the left-hand side. You just flip it around like that, and you get the orientation you want. All right? And I can just undo as well at any point. So I've got undo and redo buttons there. I can also scale the image if I wanted to, change its dimensions. There's its current dimensions, and I could scale that. So we have that to do. But what I want to do in particular is I really want to change my thumbnail. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my crop function. Now this gets a little confusing because the crop, you go to click it and nothing happens. I mean, it's grayed out. And people think, well, how do I use crop? You actually just start by dragging your cursor like this and making a box. Now, in the case of a thumbnail, it's a square. So I want to make sure that my box is square. All I do now is I just go like this. I actually got pretty close. I just make it 318 by 318. If that's the sizing I want. Maybe actually I'd like a larger area, so I can just drag it like this. And it's just simplest. 374 looks good, so I'll put that into the other box. So now I've got my square, and I can move it around. And what I want to do is I want to drag it to an area where I now have the thumbnail I want. All right? And I hit crop. There we go. Now that's what I would see in my thumbnail. Now, I haven't saved anything yet, okay? So we're still just working within the WordPress editor on the screen. So there's the current thumbnail. Now, if I hit save right now, there's going to be a problem because by default, just make sure you can see this, apply changes to. By default, it says all image sizes. What that means is the crop I just made will be applied to every size of image, not just the thumbnail. What I actually wanted in this case was this, apply changes to. And I always say to people, look at this part first before you do anything else, because if you accidentally hit save, and it applies to all images, you don't want that. So check this area first. In this case, I've now made this apply to the thumbnail only. So when I hit save, watch what happens. My thumbnail is going to change. There it is. And if I go back to edit image, my regular image is still there. I didn't change that because I had done that. Okay? So there's lots of things you can do with this image editor, but that thumbnail's the big one. That's the one that most people want to use it for. And that's the secret to it, is your crop has to start yourself like this and make sure it applies to thumbnail only. And that's a bit about how to use the built-in image editor.